Alright, this is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. Today, I'm coming at you from my beautiful backyard garden on a nice summer day. Now that it's just officially turned summer after Memorial Day, or I guess that's the start of summer, they say. I'm going to share with you guys actually a big secret I have about watermelon juice, right? There are other videos on YouTube showing making watermelon juice, and I put that in quotes because actually they use a blender. They don't use the proper appliance to me, which is a juicer, and I'm going to share with you guys my top 3 reasons why using a juicer is better than using a blender to make watermelon juice that are very important to me, and hopefully they'll be important for you too. And if you do these 2 tests side by side, watermelon in a blender versus watermelon in a slow juicer, you will be convinced. You will be a customer for life of drinking juice made with a juicer from your watermelons instead of a blender. It tastes so much different. I've done this test in live demos that I've done in the past, and like 99 out of 100 people will say the slow juice watermelon tastes a lot better than a blended watermelon juice that has to be strained. And also, that's just a pain. I hate straining things. So I want to get right into it, share my top 3 reasons why making watermelon juice in a juicer is better than a blender. And also, I'm going to share with you guys actually my 3 tips on how to make your watermelon juice even better. And then I'll share with you guys my tips on how I store the watermelon juice, because this watermelon, oh my god, it must be at least 20 pounds. It's going to make a lot of juice that you might not be able to drink all at once. And that's why I like to store it in the fridge for up to a week in the method that I'll share with you guys at the end of this video. I'm going to try to do this video really fast, so let's get into it. Alright, reason number 1 why I prefer watermelon juice out of a slow juicer is because it makes higher nutrition. After all, I'm not juicing for fun or to substitute from drinking Coke, which would actually be really good things to do, or substitute out watermelon juice for soda. I'm drinking juice for my health. And it is shown in scientific studies that are journal published that when you use a slow juicer, it damages less of the valuable antioxidants and phytonutrients that are oxidant sensitive when you're doing it in a blender. I mean, for example, this Omega MMV700 wide mouth Omega juicer that I'll be using today runs at like 60 RPMs or revolutions per minute, whereas if you're using a Vitamix to make watermelon juice like other videos on YouTube, it runs at 20,000 RPMs, right? Imagine just like being hit by your lover maybe once or twice. A love tap, right? That's even kind of pleasant, right? Versus like being hit by him really hard because you forgot to do the dishes. That's not going to be so fun, right? Anyways, the blender, because it runs so violently and so fast, it hits all the different nutrition in the watermelon juice and lowers the nutrition, which also and consequently lowers the taste and makes it not taste as good. So that's reason number 2 why I prefer using a slow juicer, is because the watermelon juice tastes way better in a slow juicer than a high-speed juicer. I mean, I can't really tell you anything else than I want you guys to use a slow juicer, not a fast juicer, because fast juicers aerate the juice much like a high-speed blender would. Also, they run at 13,000, 10,000 plus RPMs as well. So use the right tool for the right job is what my grandfather taught me, and the slow juicer is it to make the best watermelon juice. All right, 3rd reason why I like to make watermelon juice in a slow juicer is because I hate straining things. I hate making nut milks. I hate blending in the blender and then having to use a big sieve, such as this one, to basically sieve out all the pulp. And it's just a pain, extra things to clean, and it makes a mess. And I'd rather use a slow juicer, which isn't that hard to clean. This guy takes me about 4 minutes to clean. Yes, a blender would be a lot quicker, but this one to me is a lot less messy and makes a higher quality juice in the end, and that's what I'm after. What's the best juicer to choose to make your watermelon juice? So today I'm using the Omega MMV700. It actually has a 3-inch wide feed chute you could see, so that means I don't have to cut the watermelon pieces into little small bits, which can be really nice. There's pros and cons of this style machine. Generally for juicing large fruits that you could put in whole, it actually works quite well, but if you're juicing leafy greens or celery, that's where you get into some negatives about this machine, because they must be pre-cut as you should cut them in any vertical juicer, and I would actually use a different vertical juicer for that task specifically. Carrots can be put in here whole as well, just dropped in. The other main negative about this style machine, depending on what your juicing is in this area above the auger, sometimes there'll be a lot of extra produce stuck in that area that will not get juiced. So you're going to lose a little bit of yield compared to a juicer with a smaller feed chute, all right? You could use a high-speed juicer, but I'm not a big fan of high-speed juicers because also they wreck the nutrition, lower the taste sensations, and lower the antioxidant content and some of the polyphenols or other nutrients that are in the juice. So I'm all about getting the highest quality juice, and that's why I prefer to use a slow juicer that literally grinds, crushes, and squeezes or presses out the juice. All right, and down to my final tips and get a juice in the MMV 700 today is when I make watermelon juice, you could just use straight watermelons, and that's great, but I want to up the game, make the watermelon juice even more nutritious and even be able to store for longer. So I'm going to add 2 ingredients, and one ingredient is what I have here. It's actually a Meyer lemon. You could also use a standard lemon. You could just basically dunk this lemon in whole, and it'll juice it on up. The skin, the pith, which actually where there is the most nutrition, as well as the lemon, which will give you some citric acid, as well as vitamin C and other nutrients, phytonutrients that are in there that are quite valuable. That'll help you preserve the watermelon juice longer. And for the other secret ingredient, we're actually going to have to journey over to another part of my garden because I'm going to be picking that fresh today. So now I'm sitting in my garden, and I'm going to show you guys the other special ingredient that I'm going to use today that can grow easily near you if you're not growing it already. You could also buy it at the store if you're not growing it yourself. That being said, I would grow it and grow it in a container or dedicated space or area because it will spread out and take over. And what it is the mint. So we have some mint right here. Mint not only adds a nice minty flavor, but also will put your breath ready to kiss when you're drinking your watermelon juice, because you now have watermelon mint lemon juice. It'll give you a minty fresh breath, so you're ready to kiss that special someone. But more importantly, it adds a plethora of different phytonutrients, phytochemicals, vitamins and minerals, and micronutrients, including trace minerals, right? These are totally amazing. It also has like the mint oil or mint essence. That's what gives it its smell and also some of its flavor. And when you're blending this at a high speed, you're going to oxidize that and you're going to lose it. So you're going to maximize this in a slow crushing juicer like the MMV700 that I'm using today. So all I'm going to do simply is I like to harvest my mint. Instead of harvesting long sprigs, I basically just come and I top the plant, which is actually quite good for the plant as well. Because when you top the plant, basically it'll say, oh, I got cut, and it'll want to grow 2 new shoots out from the one that you cut. Also, because I'm not harvesting the long stem, which can be quite thick and difficult for vertical juicers to juice, I'm just harvesting the top tips that are very simple and easy, so no pre-cutting of these guys will be necessary. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and harvest a whole basket of mint here. We're going to wash it up, and we're going to come back at you, and we're going to juice it on up. All right, so now I'm all ready to juice. We got that watermelon, that mint all washed up, and of course that little lemon, and now I'm gonna go ahead and juice for you. So it's a really easy process. I mean, of course, first we gotta cut this watermelon open in half, and then we're just gonna take swashes of the watermelon, feed it through the juicer along with the mint and lemon, and rotate all the different ingredients. All right, that's a nice beauty. All right, so this is actually a seedless watermelon. You can juice seeded ones, although that may clog or jam your juicer. It may not, depending on how many seeds are in there and how you feed it, and also the texture of the watermelon. I recommend juicing seedless ones. It works a little bit better. All right, and then the only other thing I'll need is I have this special tool. This is called an avocado scoop. You could also look these up. They're fruit scoops. And this allows me to basically just come in and basically take a nice scoop out of this. And you can see it's a nice scoop that it actually will fit right into the machine. So today I'm using the Omega MMV700. If you're interested in purchasing this exact model I'm using for this exact demonstration, please be sure to check the link down below. First comment also in the description. Every different juicer has its own set of pros and cons, so I want to make sure that you guys get the exact right juicer for you. If you're juicing only watermelons, then I could definitely say this machine is for you. But if you want to juice other things besides watermelons, you should take a look at my other videos where I compare in over 500 episodes all the different major brand juicers. At this point, of all the different wide feed chute juicers, I prefer the Omega MMV700 or the Kuvings C7000, which are basically the same machine because they're made in the same factory, supported by different companies. For my 3-inch wide feed chute juicing, which actually, honestly, I don't use a lot myself, but when I juice watermelons, I generally will. All right. and we're gonna do a stopwatch on this. So we're gonna start it, and we're just gonna start juicing here for you, and we're gonna speed this up so you don't have to watch me sit here and juice all this watermelon, and we'll find out how long it takes. All right, so I just wanted to stop right there and just let you know that I basically made 2 liters, which is basically 2 quarts of juice approximately. It only took 2.5 minutes. Super simple, super easy. We're gonna take a little break and put this in one of these jars. Then we're gonna get back and juice the rest. So I think I got most of the watermelon juice. We might stop here because I think I got another 2 liters or 2 quarts of juice. So we're just gonna go ahead and stop. And we're gonna go ahead and shake down this little sieve here. This sieve did strain out some of the pulp. You don't need to strain out the pulp. If you would rather drink it, there's not a lot, and basically stop. I mean, this whole process took about almost 7 minutes, and I still had more juicing to go. Maybe I could get the scrapings of the watermelon. And the cool thing is when you're using a juicer to juice watermelon, I don't want you guys to forget the most nutritious part of the watermelon, which is not the inside red part, which has the lycopene, but the outside skin, or the green part that has the chlorophyll, as well as all the little white pith area that's between the green skin and the pink. Whether your watermelon is organic or conventional, you can always juice it. That being said, I would only encourage you guys to juice the organic watermelons, although they say the conventional watermelons are generally low sprayed, and maybe even on the clean 15 at some points from what I hear. All right, so next let's go ahead and pour this juice off into my large jar here, and I'm just using 64-ounce mason jars with a wide lid. These are available at Walmart. The glass pitcher I'm pouring from also should be available at Walmart. It's an Anchor Hawking measuring cup, also available at Target. And then this is just a standard stainless steel canning jar funnel. And we're gonna go ahead and pour this up to the top. Pretty much not too much past the shoulder, or the next step will not work. So you guys can see I got 2 64 ounces. So this is actually 1 gallon of watermelon juice right here. And we got these little lids, which are normally used for fermentation. It's called a Solite lid seal vacuum storage. So you could vacuum seal with these lids, and then also you can do fermentation with them, which I use them for both. Usually I primarily use them for fermentation. You get a little pump. This is a different pump, and then basically what you do is I'm using this pump to pump the excess oxygen. If you guys see, there's air bubbles. I'm literally pumping all the excess oxygen out of the juice. This will ensure the juice stays fresher longer. In this method, I would not have a problem using a slow juicer, stirring it under a vacuum, adding the mint and lemon for storing this for up to 5 days. I wouldn't store it much longer than 5 days. Probably won't go that bad on you, but always better be safe than sorry. And if you're drinking this stuff, let me tell you guys, right? You're gonna make this, it's gonna taste so good. It's not even gonna last 5 days in your fridge, especially if you have a big family. Or, you know, I prefer to drink this stuff instead of water during the summertime, because this is a lot more hydrating, has the lycopene, the phytochemicals, the phytonutrients, the vitamin C, all the different amazing properties in the watermelon, and it sure heck a lot tastes better than the water. My demo would not be complete if I did not get to try the sample for you guys and let you guys know what it tastes like. And here's the watermelon juice with my homegrown mint and the lemon. I tried to put like basically 2 lemons per quart glass, and then I have a few leftover things of juice that I'll be drinking like right now because I'm super thirsty after making this video. All right, l'chaim. That's completely amazing, man. That lemon, I could definitely feel it. So if you don't like lemon, you don't need to store your juices long. You might want to put half a lemon instead of a whole lemon, you know, between both of them. It's pretty strong. I really taste that mint. And here's the thing. The reason why I love juicing watermelon so much is that, you know, it's just, watermelon is not watermelon that I used to get and eat as a kid, right? When I was a kid, we'd go to my grandparents' house, and Mr. Blakely next door would grow watermelons, and we'd eat the fresh watermelon. Tasted super amazing. The stuff I get in the store, even if organic these days, just does not compare. But when I juice it, the flavor is intensified, and then I could eat it. And that is my watermelon juice secrets today. Secret number 1, use a slow juicer instead of a blender. Secret number 2, add those magical ingredients, the mint and the lemon, to make it store longer. If you don't want the acid of the lemon in there and you're going to drink it more immediately, then skip that. But do the mint, because that'll up the phytonutrient content, make your watermelon juice even more healthier. And then, of course, the final tip, store it under vacuum, because you could store it for the next 5 days in your cold fridge. I like to set my fridge out at 35 degrees. So this stays super cold, easily stored for 5 days, so you and your family could be enjoying fresh, delicious watermelon juice all throughout this summer. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Also be sure to share this video with others. If you guys appreciate my content, learn from my content, and are looking for a juicer, please support me by making your purchase at discountjuicers.com. Link is down below to this video. That allows me to continue to make my videos, as well as teach gardening online, outgrowing your greens, and do everything I get to do. So I am thankful, and I want to thank you guys in advance for supporting me. And I want to thank you guys who have supported me in the past. Also, be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you don't miss out on my new and upcoming episodes that have come out about every 5 to 7 days. You never know where I'll show up, or what you'll be learning, or what I'll be juicing, or what juicers I'll be comparing, or even vacuum blenders on my channel, so that you guys can get the best appliances to eat more fruits and vegetables, because they are the healthiest foods on the planet, based on my research and based on scientific journal published studies. All right. Also, be sure to click the bell to get notified as my new videos come out. And finally, be sure to check my past episodes. My past episodes are a wealth of knowledge. Over 500 episodes at this time on this YouTube channel dedicated to sharing and contrasting and comparing all the different juicers and sharing my special juicing tips with you, since I have been juicing for 25 years now straight. So with that, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for YouTube visitors.